Hi, I'm Tintin Wisniewski from the Hoover Institution. Hoover's Career Task Force on K-12 education, with the help of some friends, has attempted to project what American education might look like in the year 2030. By that time, today's newborn will become college freshmen. The task of looking so far ahead while refreshing is also quite formidable. We invite you to join us in this predictive video presentation in search for solutions to the challenges that American education faces in the years ahead. For more information about this project, please visit our website at americaneducation2030.com. Paul Hill is a distinguished visiting fellow at the Hoover Institution, where he specializes in education policy and education reform. He describes how the local school system will be revolutionized by 2030 from a state bureaucracy into a high-performance organization.
One of the tragedies of our public life is that the agency to which we've assigned responsibility for public schools, the school district, has become a hostile environment for schools. Schools exist, especially in big cities, at the bottom of a pyramid of regulators and overseers that include teacher union contracts, state and federal programs, court orders, school board policies, and the like, which make it almost impossible for people in the school to do problem solving. Teachers and principals in schools can think that what they're doing isn't working and that they need to try something else, but they are often constrained from doing that by the rules that hold everything in place. This is particularly serious in big cities where disadvantaged groups are prevalent and many groups are not getting what they need right now. Both native-born and immigrant groups are in schools that don't work for them, and yet the districts are often constrained from trying boldly enough options that they need to try. This is a serious problem in today's environment where there's a great deal of pressure on public education to increase performance, and at the same time, no prospect of seriously increasing funding. So districts have to learn how to do much better with the same. My prediction is that school districts will change, and quite dramatically. And the essence of my prediction is that school districts will stop being central bureaucracies that provide everything in a uniform way and oversee everybody bureaucratically, and instead become searchers for the best possible way of educating their children by any means necessary. So school districts, I predict, will start asking museums and universities, nonprofits, national providers to come in and run some of their schools to try out different alternative ways of providing high quality education, especially to the poor and disadvantaged. I call a district that tries anything it can a portfolio district for the simple reason that such a district operates a diverse portfolio of schools, and it has several attributes. One of them is that it constantly looks for the best option no matter where it is, and is willing to bring in a provider from some other town or some other district if there's a chance that could lead to the improvement of a school. Secondly, that the district opens and closes schools, opens schools when they find better alternatives, closes schools that prove not to be high performing. And the third is that parents get choices. Parents can choose neighborhood schools if they want, but they can also choose the school in their whole city that best meets the need of their children. And finally, the districts perform performance-based oversight under a level playing field so that new providers and existing providers get the same deal in terms of funding, access to facilities and the like, and the same kinds of performance data are kept and used on every school so that schools are sustained if they perform, not sustained if they don't. This leads to a system of continuous improvement. So rather than a district being a fixed entity and a fixed number of schools, it's a constantly shifting entity, always looking for a better way to do things. This prediction, which I make for 2030, is in fact starting to show some evidence today. In New York and New Orleans, for example, the districts have moved in the direction of being portfolio districts and do all the things I talked about, and are in the middle right now of an effort to tremendously change the number and types of schools they offer and hold them all accountable to the same performance. The idea, I think, will spread for several reasons. One of them is districts need an alternative. The second is that the examples of New York and New Orleans and others, Los Angeles is starting it, are starting to prove that portfolio districts can do better than bureaucratic districts. In New York, for example, the dropout rate among disadvantaged children has declined by 15%. And it will also spread because the examples of earlier districts, New York is another good example, will show who's a good provider of schools and how to do it, be much easier for districts elsewhere to pick the idea up. So now, for example, every month another district, most recently Detroit, is about to starts thinking about this idea as a solution to its problems. I think we'll find that it is the dominant approach in public education in 20 years.